As I wind up these mountains with its beautiful environments and refreshing air, it's hard to imagine that here, long ago, was a massive battle between the Qing dynasty and the Tsou tribe. According to their oral histories, the Tsou tribes lived on both the mountains and nearby flatlands of what is today Chiayi County. Their clans formed the settlements Tfuya, Tapangu, Imutsu, and Lutu. They farmed and hunted these lands and at times headhunted. In the 1600s, there was some contact with Dutch colonists, and when the Qing defeated them and set up his kingdom of Dongning, some Dutch refugees are said to have come to Tsou lands and intermixed. Although headhunting was already part of their lives, warfare was about to become even more intense. In 1665, King Zhenjing, son of the famous Qing, promulgated the farmer-soldier colonial system for opening savage lands and sent 200 colonists to seize the eastern part of today's Yunlin County and Nantong County. They pushed out the Lutu Tsou, and fierce fighting broke out on the new frontier. In 1668, the Tsou besieged the colonists and killed more than 100 of them. Later, reinforcements drove the Tsou out again. In 1683, the kingdom of Dongning capitulated and the Qing Empire arrived. A large conflict would break out between the Qing dynasty and the Tsou. The Tfuya and Tapangu tribes have somewhat different versions of the events in their oral histories. Scholars believe this was in the 60th year of Emperor Kangxi, and the Tsou oral history seems to line up with the Alishan savage rebellion in the Qing dynasty records. The Qing dynasty entered a very tense frontier. The Han colonists, be they Minnan or Hakka, came with guns and thus could drive the indigenous people from the plains, but the native warriors held geographical advantages in the steep mountains. Both sides often killed mercilessly. Qing officials on the frontier often misused their power to coerce, swindle, and abuse Aboriginal peoples. To make matters worse, the Tfuya had suffered an epidemic and were greatly reduced in number. Legend has it a Tfuya man killed an official during a dispute. A Qing punitive expedition was sent. The Tsou-Qing War began. It is said that the Tsou sent a delegate to Tainan, which they called Tsa'ama'u, to intercede. The Tfuya say the delegate was the leader Yaipuku. The Tapangu say he was the chief's son. Either way, he was told the army had already set off, and it was too late. The Qing army was large, and if they fought them directly, they were likely to get annihilated. They had to use an ambush. Thus, the Tsou women approached the army, feigning compliance. They said that they knew they couldn't fight the mighty Qing and asked to be spared. They offered to guide the army to their village, and so the soldiers lowered their guards. Legend has it that as the army was crossing a river, Tsou girls raised their skirts to distract the soldiers, while other Tsou women secretly soaked the Qing army's gunpowder in water. They led the army to a planned ambush site. Stones were thrown as a signal. The remaining women ran away from the army, and 30 Tsou warriors rushed out to attack. The warriors shot arrow after arrow into the front ranks of the Qing army, which found itself cramped in unfavorable terrain and unable to shoot their guns due to the wet powder. Soldiers who tried to escape were also shot. Many heads were taken that day. It's said that the women who were defiled by the army committed suicide by jumping off the cliff. It was a hard-won victory. They say the Tsou spared 2 soldiers and let them report the situation to the Qing dynasty, but the delegate they sent to Tainan met them on his way home, and he slew them. After this massive slaughter, Han colonists were afraid to encroach on the Tsou for a long time. The Great Ambush was a success. In 1787, more than 60 years after the Great Ambush, a Tiandihui insurgent leader, Lin Shuangwen, launched a massive anti-Qing rebellion in Taiwan. Due to the ethnic hatred on the frontier, his mainly Zhangzhou descent warriors turned on the other groups, threatening to exterminate them. This time, the Tsou, along with the Quanzhou descendants, Hakka, and the people of Zulosan town, would side with the Qing dynasty and help them defeat the rebels. But that's a story for another time. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for following me on my journey. I salute yours. Peace.